Welcome, welcome to the world of future. And just kidding. Welcome to my stream. Do you guys know what time it is? It's crazy time. I'm joking, no. I mean, yes, but we are going to watch Hua stuff. So we are going to watch some Wuthering Waves videos that I want to see. Maybe not all of those, because you know guys, I just opened my YouTube and typed Wuthering Waves, things to know as a beginner. So I want to be prepared. We are what, 14 days away, so 2 weeks away from Jesus Christ being able to play Wuthering Waves. And I want to know more, when I start to not be a complete noob. I mean, you know how it is. Anyhow, I wanted to see maybe a suggestion, what to do, what to roll for. I mean, I'm going to roll for what I want to roll, which is Electro team. I'm going with Kakarot and Yinlin, the red-haired girl. So I'm going to have that team, but I want to know what people are suggesting. I want to know how the weapon advancement system works. I want to know all those things that we new players want to know. So let's check something out. Let's watch a little bit. I'm not sure if we are going to watch all of this. I was trying to say, I forgot, I started talking about Uva, and when I opened the YouTube and typed Wuthering Waves gameplay, I got thousands of videos. Let me tell you that. And I had to pick a few, but I like how one video looked, so I opened a new tab. So I like another video, so I opened a new tab, and I just started opening new tabs like an idiot. But I'm not going to watch all of those, and neither are you. Thank me later. Thank me later. Okay. I opened this one first because it says everything you need to know Wuthering Waves beginner guide, which I am and will be in 2 weeks, and a lot of you who never played on test server are. So let's see what's a beginner guide. What is a beginner guide? So the description is a beginner's guide to cover everything the game has to offer. Let me open more. Characters or resonators. So when you see a resonator, that is a character you're resonating with, I guess. Like Simulacra is in Tower Fantasy. Resonator is for Uva. The ecosystem, dailies and weeklies, bosses, crafting, endgame content, and gacha system, and much more. And I want to know about resonators, I guess. Who to use, how to advance. Do I have to pull, one copy and then upgrade that copy in maybe farming something, or do I have to, pull one copy and if I want to upgrade that copy, I have to roll for 10,000 more copies. You know what I mean? You do. Okay. Without further ado is goodbye. Ado. Let's watch. Okay. Should I?
Interested in an overview about what the game has to offer? This video is for you. We will cover nearly
Okay, let's
everything
go
the
with
game
the...
has to offer and talk about all the features present in the CBT2, all the ways to obtain pulls for your favorite characters,
Okay.
the ecosystem, dailies and weeklies, bosses, crafting and cooking, endgame content, the gacha system, and much more. Grab yourself a tea or coffee. This will be a long video. Well,
I don't
at
have
least
a
for my
coffee, dude.
standards.
I have a
Settle in
wine,
and
so...
let's talk about everything Wuthering Waves.
I should have made coffee. Definitely. So everything we need to know.
While you explore the overworld, you will come across various chests, puzzles, and title heritages. These are one-time rewards, which will not only grant you some asteroid, the premium currency of this game, but also these wood grain fragments. You can exchange these at the gift shop in Jinzo.
Okay, one time,
Sorry
you know.
if I butcher that name, for various goods such as pulls, tuners, XP materials, or credits. Speaking of Jinzo, Maki from the Pioneer Association will grant you some small rewards for exploring the world. You gain progress from various activities such as visiting new areas, solving puzzles, opening chests, or simply doing quests. These rewards also include unlocking the portable waypoint at level 2. The caskets get...
You know, guys, I really hope that we don't get a lot of things to do at the beginning, because as new people that is going to be distracting, very distracting. So I hope that they will give us, you know, something to do and explore, and maybe for achievements, but then, you know, add more things as the game progresses. Because I started playing Genshin less than a month ago, and there is just a lot of things to do as a new player. It can get overwhelming. The same is in Tower Fantasy. I have been playing that game for a long time, but if I were a beginner, it would be really overwhelming.
Can function at level 3, and the loot mapper at level 4, which will allow you to search your nearby area for chests. But let's talk about the casket scan, or to be more specific, what caskets are even in the first place. Close to Maki, you will find the relic merchant Chenpi. During your exploration, you will come across Sonin's caskets.
So I have to put something behind my ear in order to...
And you can trade them in for rewards, such as asteroid, pulls, wave bands, or materials for your MC. Wave bands are basically this game's version of constellations. I will get back to breakthrough materials a bit later into the video. Let's continue with the crafting systems. In the northeast of Jinzo, you can find the synthesizer.
Yes, sir, I put a pillow on my head just so you guys can see my ears.
Waypoints or use lower level
materials
to craft higher level ones. These items are used for breakthroughs, ascensions, and upgrades from weapons and skills. Furthermore, crafting items here will grant you proficiency, which increases your synthesis level, rewarding you again with some asteroid and XP materials. Uncle Way's weapon franchise allows you to buy weapon breakthroughs and skill materials.
It's like in every game, when you are leveling, you get so many free stuff, free currency. But then when you get when you hit that end game, you don't get that anymore. So
materials up to a certain limit every week for some shell credits. Currency used in Wuthering Waves.
Uncle Way.
Since shell credits are easily obtained and farmable without spending stamina, this is certainly something to buy every week. Behind Way, you can also craft yourself some weapons. However, while the 3-star weapons are easily craftable, the 4-star weapons require a high amount of materials and weapon molds, which you can gain by defeating the Bellborn Calamity or guaranteed from the weekly boss.
And you cannot craft the legendary?
You can buy materials for cooking. While you can farm a few in the overworld, some recipes require special items such as milk, which can only be obtained here. Speaking of cooking, various recipes allow you to create buff food, and here as well we have a proficiency level, which will again reward you with new recipes and some asteroid. Hanhua, the restaurant owner here, will also sell you a few new recipes to learn. And if you are ever out of materials and feel too lazy to search and collect them yourself, Coco at the pharmacy also allows you to buy common herbs and weeds.
That's us!
Finish off Jinzo, we have the simulation train.
I can buy everything, I don't have to farm it.
Stamina for various XP materials or shell credits. which is a great segue to wave plates. So you can hold a maximum of 240 of them, and they restore 1 every 6 minutes. You can either use 1 crystal solvent or asterite to replenish 60 wave plates. Wave plate refreshes can be done a maximum of 6 times a day if you are using asterite. So let's talk about all the possible ways of how you can spend them. Starting with Union level 10, you unlock the overworld bosses, such as the Crownless, you know, that tutorial boss. After defeating one of those, you can spend 60 wave plates to gain their respective Resonator breakthrough materials, as well as their echo, either by chance or guaranteed depending on your terminal level.
So you farm echoes.
Respawn every 5 minutes. Other ways.
You farm echoes by killing the enemies. So even if you messed up your free echo that they are giving now on Discord, you can still obtain another echo. And I made a really stupid mistake and logged the first one I got because I don't know why I didn't read. It clearly said, "Are you sure you want to log it? You're not able to change your decision." And I went, yes. And I chose something. I chose a car with spider legs or something like that. And then I got legendary echoes, so at least I can farm a better one by killing bosses.
To spend your wave plates include clearing the forgery challenges for various materials, costing you 40 wave plates, or the weekly bosses, whose rewards you can only claim once a week for 60 wave plates. Discord's tessets are also a way to spend your wave plates to obtain some echoes. But personally, I highly advise against that, as overworld farming is way more efficient and does not cost you any wave plates whatsoever in the first place. However, if they do change anything here, and it does become worth it, I will let you know in a pinned comment. Again, this is based on CBT2. That being said,
that's the newest one.
What all these materials are used for. Well, mainly characters and weapons. Characters in Wuthering Waves are called Resonators. While you get Rover, Chixia, and Yang Yang for free within the first minutes of the game, other characters are obtained through the gacha system.
Of course.
That later. Actually, that is not entirely correct.
But how do you upgrade them?
You can claim Yuan Wu for free after reaching a certain breakpoint in the Tower of Adversary, which is this game's equivalent of Genshin's Abyss. Leveling Resonator requires, well,
I haven't played Abyss in Genshin, so I don't know.
Weapons, right, you guessed it, weapon experience materials. Reaching level 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, or 80 requires you to ascend the character to continue leveling them further. However,
that is like Genshin.
ascensions are locked behind your Soul 3 phase and require breakthrough materials. If you are wondering what this ominous Soul 3 phase is, basically that is your world level. Every 10 Union levels, your Soul 3 phase will increase by 1, but at Union levels 20, 40, and 60, you will need to pass a trial to further increase the Soul 3 phase, as enemies will get significantly stronger at least.
That's like in Genshin. It happened to me.
Stats and HP, but also entirely new movesets.
With level 40 or
will also unlock higher levels for your
advanced
skills.
level.
However, you will still need to level them, which is what you need the skill materials for. Each level increases the skill's effectiveness by around 5%, which means the difference between level 1 and level 10 is about 50%, at least when speaking of damage. Again, this is based on CBT2 data, and also keep in mind, while 50% doesn't seem much at first glance, keep in mind it does scale with all your other stats.
It does actually, 50% is a lot.
The most damage you will gain comes from your weapons and echoes. Since I already have made an in-depth video about the ecosystem, you can click the link in the top right-hand corner if you are interested in that. I will not go too deep into the system in this video.
Yeah.
However, I do want to mention that they have decided to make various adjustments to the echoes, and I think that is great. The overall system is still the same, stats and rolls will be different, and there now will be a way to convert unenhanced echoes into new echoes. Also, thank God, a certain percent of tuners will be returned to you when using tuned echoes as fodder for others.
What's tuner?
Also, they will narrow down the stat roll changes, cause honestly they have been quite atrocious. Anyway, echoes are obtained by killing enemies in the overworld. The best way to target specific echoes is using the tracking function, which will lead you one by one to every enemy in the world. Echoes come in 1, 3 and 4 costs, depending on the strength, and each echo can be between rank 2 and 5. To be honest, every echo that's not rank 5 you can throw away after some time, since the stats rank 5 echoes grant are just so much higher, it's like not
That
even
makes
close.
sense.
This also means please save your resources and do not level rank 4 echoes.
Tunes are used to unlock your substats for the echoes. Oh, okay.
The maximum rank
I understand.
you can find in the overworld and reliably farm depends on your turn.
Thanks, Rosie.
Which you level up by finding new echoes, and you gain data bank experience for each rank you find for the first time. Every terminal level will also increase your maximum stamina and grants you some asteroid. Rank 4 echoes are obtainable after level 8.
And stamina and everything is basically like Genshin and Tower Fantasy.
Elite enemies are 3 cost, and Overlord or Calamity enemies are considered 4 cost. Characters have a loadout called cost, and the sum of all echoes equipped cannot be higher than said loadout, which is either 8, 10 or 12, again,
so you can
on your terminal level. Raising your terminal level fast is hence one, if not the most important thing to do early into the game. The echo equipped in the topmost slot of any character will grant its unique echo ability for you to use. But again, if you want to know how exactly that works,
I think I have this on the car.
In-depth echo video. Let's talk about the weapons. Weapons
I made a
follow
mistake.
the same formula as characters, requiring weapon XP and breakthrough materials to level and ascend respectively. You can enhance weapon effects by offering duplicates up to a maximum of rank 5. Effectively,
basically you can upgrade everything.
Duplicates of characters will be translated into wave bands, which you can use to unlock their node sequences, capping out at node 6. Which brings us to the gacha system, the place where you will obtain said weapons or new characters and weapons.
Tell me more,
Wuthering
Sensei.
Waves features 4 banners: the event character banner, event weapon banner, standard character banner, and standard weapon banner.
Wait, we have character banners and weapon banners?
Which will reimburse your lost 50/50
What?
with an additional 30 corals though, but more on that later. The only 5-star you can get on the event weapon banner is the featured weapon.
So if I get her, I get, you know, her in a party and her weapon, or we get special kind of weapons, but if we pull a Resonator, or Resonator is without a weapon, like in Genshin. Because in Tower of Fantasy, yeah, it's like in Genshin, and I started playing it recently, less than a month ago. But in Tower of Fantasy, when you pull a simulacra or a hero or a character, you get a weapon, their weapon. So the weapon they're using, you can use that weapon, and you can use the visual of said hero. But this is not like that. Apparently this is like more in Genshin. You pull a hero, you have their skills, but you have to pull a weapon also. Okay. For standard, okay.
On the standard banner, you can only ever obtain characters, and if you want a weapon, you pull on the standard weapon banner. However, the standard weapon banner lets you actually select and choose the weapon you want to, meaning you will guaranteed obtain said weapon when pulling a 5-star. Otherwise, every 10 pulls, you will be guaranteed at least 1 4-star regardless of the banner. Every 3-star weapon obtained will reward you with a few corals, and every 4 and 5-star character with 3 or 8 afterglow corals respectively. If you already have said characters sequence nodes maxed, you will receive more afterglow corals instead. If I remember correctly, it was like double or triple the usual. Corals can be exchanged in the shop for up to 18 pulls per month, or various materials, and credits and afterglow corals can be exchanged for either or guaranteed wave bands of all standard characters and the featured character as well. However, they are very expensive and are, to be honest, more of a toy for whales than for the average free-to-play player, but you might be able to get a character or two after saving for a very long time. While talking
I am used to saving.
Let me get back to the union level. Here you can also
Tower of Fantasy,
every 5 to 10
basically.
nothing too major, but
in Tower of Fantasy you have 4 elements, and every element is 1 month in the shop, so I could get a new hero for my element every 4 months. And if that character wasn't good, I would have to wait 4 more months. But now they have double elements, so it's shorter. But yeah, I'm used to saving.
It is a nice touch, and a few of them.
It sucks when you want something.
I already mentioned Asteroid, the premium currency of this game before,
it's a gacha game.
Very prevalent in the shop. There are other ways to obtain those, be it once, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. So let's talk about those as well. Starting with the one-timers. Aside from the chests, puzzles, title heritages, redeemable shops, and proficiency levels I already have mentioned earlier into the video, you can claim up to 60 per day by doing some of the various tasks in the guidebook's activity. Speaking of the guidebook, once you can also claim some union experience for each task done here, as well as some asteroid and other materials or echoes after finishing each level. And this brings us to the weekly activities. Once per week and once every 2 weeks, or also once a month, you can get some asteroid and hence pulls from the various endgame activities. So let's talk about those. As of the CBT2, there are 2 endgame activities in the game. Well, technically 3. The Tower of Adversity and the Depth of Elusive Realm. The Tower of Adversity is this game's equivalent to Genshin's Abyss. Before you are able to access the repeatable bi-weekly hazard zone, you can obtain 1,800 asteroid from clearing the stable and experiment zones. Clearing any floor will reward you with deep records or
something to do every week, every month.
Score, which you can trade in for various materials.
We want to
asteroid in the shop every 2 weeks.
We want to play Wula.
However, the Tower of Adversity works a little bit differently than Genshin's Abyss. Each character has a total of 10 energy.
I never played Genshin Abyss, so I don't know what that is.
Energy, and if it reaches 0, said character cannot be used in further floors.
Oh.
This will require you to have 3 teams built for the tower, or in other words, 9 characters.
Really?
The second endgame activity is the Depth of Elusive Realm, which is a roguelike mode, and personally, I really loved it.
That's a lot of heroes.
Extremely fun to play. In this mode, you can play 1 character, and only 1 character. And you will gain various enhancements, buffs, and blessings throughout your run. If you have ever played Honkai Impact 3rd before, this is basically the Elysian Realm, but due to the echo mechanics, it feels way cooler, to be honest. The Elusive Realm will also provide you with a currency which you can trade in for various goods once a month, yet again.
Okay.
And last but not least, let's also have a look at some combat tips. Some echo abilities will transform you into the respective enemy, which usually has a long animation time, rendering you unable to parry, dodge, or use any other abilities. However, for most echoes, you can still switch your characters, allowing you to animation cancel said echo ability, and not only dealing more damage in a shorter time frame, but also giving you back control to parry or dodge important enemies' attacks. This will especially be important when talking about the hologram bosses in Wuthering Waves, which is sort of the 3rd endgame activity I was touching on earlier. Holograms are basically
you guys see from my camera?
Should I move it? Bosses. They unlock at Union level 27 and come in 6 difficulties. Each difficulty increases their stats, aggressiveness, and changes their movesets, making them by far the most challenging content in the game. Because of their difficulty, they only grant a small one-time reward, as not every player will be able to defeat all difficulties at once. Last but not least, let me talk about 2 more things. Well, 3 actually. Shiny floating asteroids on the overworld, shiny echoes, and the battle pass. Once in a while, you might come across these little things, which will reward you with a small amount of asteroid when collected. I have no idea
the follow thing is
here, what triggers those, or if they are kept to a certain amount per day, but I have been able to find up to 3
you can see it now when my hand is here.
Speaking of shiny asteroid, let's talk about shiny echoes. The Pokemon enthusiasts
Souls boss is the holograms. Oh, okay.
You are able to find echoes in a different color compared to their usual one. As far as testing has went during the CBT2, it seems like those always have a chance to spawn within the same place. That also means they will unfortunately not be that rare.
I regret that I haven't played
It is a cool
CBT2.
little feature, and you have a chance to getting a
Or
shiny.
at least,
pretty.
you know,
Regarding the battle pass, there's honestly nothing
cute
special
for
about
it.
It is very similar to all the other gacha games
I forgot
I've played,
completely
be it
about the
Genshin,
game.
HSR, Honkai Impact 3rd, or Reverse 1999. If you think I've missed anything, please let me know in the comments. So,
Okay.
that has been everything and a lot. And if you sticked up
What?
until the end, I want to thank you for your time and hope this video was of help. Please leave me a comment.
I mean, yeah, it was helpful. I wanted to know how you can upgrade your weapons, your heroes. Yeah, a lot of levels. I guess you'll maybe have a level 50. Surely we are not going to have level 70 or above that in at the release. I mean, I don't know. I will probably buy the monthly thingy